One of the most urgent questions a biblical counselor must ask is not, does this person want to change? But rather, do they treasure Christ? Because the hard truth is this: if someone does not have affection for Jesus, then lasting change will be nearly impossible. Christ must be the prize, He must be the source, He must be the animating center of the Christian life. Without Jesus Christ, any change that we offer is just behavioral modification wrapped in Bible verses. Sadly, one of the unintended consequences of the biblical counseling movement is that we become skilled at explaining how people change. Still, we often fail to emphasize who must animate that change. We systematize sanctification into principles and steps, and there's good in that. However, the danger is subtle. We can become excellent mechanics in the process of change while neglecting the very engine that drives it, Jesus Christ Himself. Without affection for Jesus, even our biblical counseling risks becoming another version of self help. We may have better language, cleaner categories, and a theologically sound framework, but if Christ isn't central, our counsel becomes a Christianized spin on cultural advice. And Christianized self help is still self help. It ultimately leads to burnout cloaked in spirituality. That's why these two things are absolutely critical. We must have affection for Christ. When you elevate doctrine, obedience, or community above your affection for Christ, you build a life of imbalance. You may look sound on paper, but spiritually, you're starving. Affection for Christ. Number two, your animating center. If Jesus Christ is not the center of your affections, something else will be. And that something else will shape your responses, your goals, your methods, and your sense of identity. Change will become effortful, forced, and short lived. Christ is the juice. He is the power, the motive, and the reward for transformation. Without Him, we risk discipling people into techniques, not into a person. And if they're not animated by Christ, if their hearts are not stirred by His mercy, His suffering, His resurrection, and His Spirit, then even our best methods will eventually fizzle out. So, as you counsel others or examine your own life, ask this first: what is this person's actual relationship with Jesus Christ? Not just what they know about Him, but how they love Him. Do they enjoy Him? Do they trust Him? Do they run to Him in both sorrow and joy? If Christ is not precious to them, then our job is not to teach them more steps, is to introduce or maybe reintroduce them to the person of Jesus Christ in such a way that He becomes their greatest desire. Because once Christ captures the heart, change is no longer mechanical, it is relational, and that kind of change lasts.